Fight!
Hello everyone, my name is Demon Check, and welcome to some talk about Mortal Kombat X Kombat Pack 2. This will be a video about me giving some predictions and some ideas for a Mortal Kombat Kombat Pack 2 characters that could be put into the Kombat Pack. Recently, Ed Boon on his Twitter tweeted out a picture with a tweet saying, "I'm interpreting this as a sign, meat must be in Kombat Pack 2. Well, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of meat. It's just a person with his skin taken off. That must really hurt a lot to do anything if that is a person. You have no skin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to name a few old characters that they can bring back to Mortal Kombat X. Some might be obscure, some might be not as well known. But these are some characters that I personally looked up and I thought, well, these characters would be pretty cool to have in Mortal Kombat X Kombat Pack 2. Knowing that there can only be 4, not all these can be on. I'll also name 2 characters that I thought up on my own. 2 characters that I was just bored, and while I was just thinking, I was like, hey, these two types of characters might be pretty cool assets to the game. They'd be completely new, and they would be pretty nice to have in the game. As for guest characters, I can only think of one besides of one other one that a lot of people usually talk about, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Fatality.
Starting off, one of the characters that I think would be a good idea to have in Mortal Kombat X would be Fujin. Yes, Fujin. You know, the character that was in the beginning cutscene of the game and then was never seen again. The god of wind. How cool would it be to have Fujin come into the game instead of him just having a crappy little faction kill for the White Lotus where he blows the character in half. Havoc, the cleric of chaos. Neither good nor evil. Only does things to serve his own purpose and will have people join him or join other people to help serve his cause. Why not put Havoc in the game? He's in the Mortal Kombat X comic. And surprisingly, the Mortal Kombat X comic has a better story than Mortal Kombat X. But having Havoc in the game would actually be pretty cool. I've only ever seen him in maybe 1 or 2. He's been in 2 games. I think he's been in Deception and Armageddon, and that's all I can remember him being from. He would be a pretty cool character to see. I can't think of what his fatalities or brutalities would be, but Cleric of Chaos. That would be pretty damn awesome, wouldn't it?
Wins. Fatality.
Nytera. Just like saying Shang Tsung, Nytera has to prey on the life of others just to redeem her own life. And she's not. Rather than being evil, Nytera is self-serving and mostly neutral, and has a long quest to separate her own realm from Outworld. Now, that would be a pretty cool character to come into the Mortal Kombat universe again. I believe she's only been in a few games. I know she was in Deadly Alliance and Armageddon. Maybe Deception? I don't know. I can't really remember. But she was a pretty cool character in my opinion. Her fatality was pretty neat in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance.
Fatality.
Frost, the female version of Sub-Zero. Now, Frost is in the game as an NPC, or not really an NPC, just as a cutscene when fighting against Scorpion's story, which is pretty cheesy because when I first played the story and I saw Frost, I thought I was going to be fighting her, but then they have it turned on my head and say, no, you're not going to fight her, you're just going to go and fight Sub-Zero. Didn't really rub me the right way. And then just have Sub-Zero freeze her in the end didn't help either. I thought it'd be a really cool idea to throw Frost into the game. Maybe she deviates from the Lin Kuei's path after seeing Sub-Zero defend Scorpion. That would have been a good path to go by. And her fatalities could have been different too. She could be a lighter version of Sub-Zero. She could be quicker. Maybe her moves don't do as much damage, but she's faster in some aspects, which would be pretty interesting to see what they can do with that. And since she is wanting to rule the Lin Kuei, it would be pretty cool to see at the end of her story maybe even kill off Sub-Zero. Now, I wasn't going to go into too much detail about these old Mortal Kombat characters. I was just going to throw in basic ideas saying what old characters would I like to see back in the game, 2 male and 2 female. Now, as for these characters that I thought about that are new characters, like Takeda was new, and Jacqueline Briggs was new, and Kotal Kahn was new. These next 2 I thought of on my own, and I put a little bit of time into thinking about them, but not much. And I found these 2 pictures that I'm going to show you for each character that helped me decide of what they could do with them. Now, in Mortal Kombat X, you have your ninjas. You have Scorpion, Sub-Zero. You have the swordsman, who's not really a ninja, but he's a swordsman, Kenshi. And then you have the sort of ninja, Takahashi. What if we added one new ninja to the mix? How about a ninja that would be in the Lin Kuei? Now, I found this image that I'm putting up on the screen right now. And when I was looking for images of these characters I was talking about earlier, and while looking them over, I thought, hey, this would be a pretty cool idea for a new Mortal Kombat character. What if this guy used Sakura petals as his special ability? Now, you might be thinking, Sakura petals mean like rose petals or something? Lin Kuei Temple stage in Mortal Kombat X, it looks like the tree would have Sakura petals on it. Why not this be a new ninja in the Lin Kuei? I don't know what his name would be, but he would be using Sakura petals kind of like Byakuya Kuchiki from Bleach, where a large ball of it can cut up, would hit your opponent and would cut him up. Each petal being like a sharp razor, and just being hit by them will hurt you, making them deadly. I honestly can't think of a name for the character. I wouldn't be able to think of a fatalities. Maybe one where he just has a whole bunch of these Sakura petals just flood the person, and then when he pulls them back, the person is nothing but a crumbled mess on the ground, just chopped to bits. Might be pretty cool, but you never know. In the end, it'd be pretty cool to see. Lastly, we gotta talk about the guest characters. And yes, Spawn. Spawn's been talked about to death. We've heard from day one, Spawn was put into a combination pack with Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and I think the either TV series or the online series, Legacy or something. Yes, it's been talked to death. Spawn is perfect for Mortal Kombat X. And if they do a Kombat Pack 2, there's no doubt in my mind they're going to put Spawn in. So instead of talking about Spawn, let's talk about someone different. Something different, mind you. What if instead of having Spawn, if they didn't do Spawn at all, what if they did something from space? They're bringing Predator into Mortal Kombat X. Why not bring an xenomorph, or alien into the game. Now you're probably saying, well, what would its variations be? Well, its variations could be Queen, Drone, and Spitter. The Queen, of course, the visual aspect would be their heads. The Queen would have a different head. The Drone would have, you know, the head that we all know. And the Spitter would have a different head. As for fatalities and brutalities, I can think of one fatality and one brutality. For the Queen variation, it could summon an egg, you know, like how Kotal Khan can summon his totems. It would summon an egg from the ground. It wouldn't lay it, because that would be pretty weird to watch. And then one of its other abilities could be like a pounce, where it would pounce on its enemies and it would slash them a few times. But if you enhance it, and during the final hit, it will just grab the enemy and would make it face towards the egg if it's pulled up. During that, the egg will hatch, and quickly a facehugger will jump out and latch itself onto the enemy's face, and there's your brutality. That's at least one brutality I can think of. As for fatality, the only fatality I can think of would be to have something to do with its mouth. So why not it take its spear tail and it actually spears it through the back of the enemy, kind of like an AVP. It lifts it up to him, and it looks them dead in the eye before its inner mouth comes out and spears through their head, leaving it vacant, and it just drops them to the floor. Who would you like to see in Mortal Kombat X Kombat Pack 2, if they ever have a Mortal Kombat Pack 2, because Ed Boon is continuously trolling us with his tweets and such as of late. Put your ideas for a returning Mortal Kombat characters, maybe even your own idea for a Mortal Kombat character, and a guest character that is not Spawn. Maybe go off on my Xenomorph idea. Talk about that. I would like to hear what people come up with for fatalities and brutalities for an Xenomorph. That would be fun to read. But put your ideas down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.